Okay, hello everybody. I am Anggun febrianti from English literature. Here I will explain about the literature and the romantic poetry era. But the first is literature. The word literature is very familiar to many people, even ordinary people. At least once in their lifetime, they have heard the word literature. But what actually is literature? Literature itself has a broad meaning from many significant and researchers who for our day knowledge about literature. Literature mean language, art can also mean culture. Literature mean language can be interpreted as a writing word that have a very broad meaning and beauty. And literature mean art has a meaning as a word, which also has a very deep meaning in context to before. Literature mean art is not only in the form of writing, but in form of works such as fanfare and craft, which in every detail have a deep meaning and reflect of the meaning of the literature itself. While literature mean culture has a almost meaning the same as before, but more dominant to a culture that already exists and contribute art or a traditional literary meaning can be poured into it. In a literary work, the creator can pour out everything he wants to say to word. Some even say that is not capable of speaking. That the fan just conveys is it is so fan fiction of the literary work to show the purpose of the creator of the work. Literary work that are loved certainly have a broad and moral meaning for human life, can increase knowledge and also confuse and undermine. Literary works have uh, various forms, including number one is poetry. Poetry is a series of words written short in each tense. The series of words has a high language value and use terms that are difficult to understand in one instant. The content of the form of the message implied in seem very deep because it is his era, where there was used to convey feeling or enter many people in his day. Those who wrote and created poetry were called poets. Poetry has its own division, namely old poems that are still born by revolution, while new forms that seem fair and anyone can create them. Number two is prose. Prose is a literary work that forms a narrative or dialogue that contains a series of story or stories that have several supporting elements that complement and work into a perfect process. Number two is novel. A novel is a such literature work is the form of a structure prose just like a prose, but the novel is very free because it has no limit. Dreams are also longer. Even a novel has the less 300 pages. The novel contains the story of the main character with interaction with the environment of the course, accompanied with interesting plot and ending that has moral message for human life. Number four is romance. Romance is a long story about heroines and romance. Romance purpose is Germany, the Netherlands, France, and other part of mainland Europe. There is slight difference between romance and novel, namely the form of the novel is shorter than the romance, but the size of the area of the story element is almost the same. Number five is thoughts. Number five is short story. Short stories are the form of literary work in the form of the narrative prose that is fiction. The content is no more than uh, 10 10,000 words. Short story tend to be the dense and to the point covered of the longer works of the fiction. In this easy, there are actually other events, but these events are not developed so that there is only support for the main event so that the story looks natural. This means that short story are only concentrated on an event that is the subject of the story. Number six is drama. Drama is type of literature in the form of poetry or prose that aims to describe life through the behavior and dialogue of the character. Generally, plays are designed for stage performance. Their drama as related what is actually only temporary because the drama script is the written as a basic performance to the purpose of drama is not to be read like people are read novel or film. The real drama is the script connecting the dialogue has been staged. However, some of the play written were equally as literary works. Then we move to the poetry. Poetry is a form of literary expression that use language and poetry to evoke emotion, create in imagery, convey ideas, or explore them. It is characterized by a dense and rich use of language, often using techniques such as morphophors, rhythm, and symbolism. Poetry can take many forms, including sonnets, haiku, ballet, free poetry, and epics, among other poetry, often invite interpretation and can be very subjective, allowing the readers to discover the personality meaning of the text. Poetry has been significant art from the early human story, serving as a mean of the communication like cultural expression and artistic expression. Then its element is a majorly figurative language, rhythm, metaphor, and smile, simile, contraction, theme, structure, tone, sound, device, control language, and word patterns. And then the last is romantic era. The romantic period began broadly around 1798 and lasts until 1837. The political, the economic atmosphere at the time heavily influenced this period, with many writers finding inspiration from the French Revolution. There was a lot of social change during the period called for the abolition of slavery become louder during this time, with more writing openly about their objection after the agricultural revolution. People moved away from the countryside and formal and into the cities, where the Industrial Revolution, private jobs, and technological innovation, something that will spare to the United States in the 19th century. Romanticism was a reaction against this afraid of idealism as well as criticism of the artistic, social, and political norm and a call for more intelligent to be nature. Other writers of this time did two things of themselves as romantic. Victorian writers later classified them in this way because of their ability to capture the emotion and tenderness of the man. Overall, the Romantic era was an era of turmoil for literary works, especially poetry, where at the time poets conveyed feeling and everything they could not be expressed openly in the eyes of the public could be expressed using poetry, so that it could be expressed and understood by many people, including the intended. The poets and that time were very interested in the hierarchy of humans and all the behaviors that problem with. So the type of created was very social with beautiful words and could readers to better understand human nature and think more broadly in solving problems. Beautiful nature was still so nature in that era that every eye that look could not help but feel like not to make the string beautiful word to express creative for the scenery that they could see at the time. That's why the poet at the time created many beautiful poems that aim to portray the beauty of nature they saw, With just a word, they could describe the beauty of the blue sky of a high mountain towering through the clouds, even only the fallen leaf hit the earth. Even in that era, poetry was used as a means of the conveying voice of government, to convey the voice of the people, crave and achieve common goals. Poetry could unite a country through the chanting of the beautiful names and words. Literary works are language art that have various forms with the same purpose and various way delivery, but still have their own beauty with things provided into it so that they can be escaped or understand for all circles. And literary works, the discussion of the word above is just my personal opinion and analysis of the knowledge I gathered in this semester. So that's all. What can I say? Thank you very much.